In 1970, the average woman in the developed world gave birth to more than 2.5 children. By 2024, that figure had fallen below 1.6. This shift is not a forecast, not a warning, and not a future risk. It is a completed transformation already embedded into population structures across much of the world. According to the United Nations Population Division, maintaining a stable population without sustained immigration requires roughly 2.1 births per woman. Today, more than 70% of advanced economies fall below that threshold. Several sit far below it. Japan remains near 1.3. Italy around 1.2. South Korea has fallen below 0.8, the lowest fertility rate ever recorded in a modern industrial society. At that level, each generation is not slightly smaller than the one before it, but structurally reduced. These figures are not abstract. They already shape everyday life. In Germany, there are now more citizens over the age of 60 than under the age of 30. Italy's median age approaches 50. In Japan, products designed for old age generate more revenue than those designed for infancy. These are not cultural curiosities. They are demographic signals. For much of the 20th century, governments planned around the fear of overpopulation. Economic systems, pension schemes, housing markets, and labor policies were designed with one assumption in mind: each generation would be larger than the last. There would be more workers, more taxpayers, more consumers to support expanding institutions. Instead, the opposite emerged. Birth rates fell while life expectancy increased. The result is a shrinking workforce carrying the financial and institutional weight of a growing retired population. This is not collapse in a dramatic sense. It is a slow structural rebalancing that quietly reshapes economies, politics, social cohesion, and geopolitical power. Demography rarely generates headlines, but it quietly determines who pays, who votes, who works, and who carries the future. Power does not move only through armies, markets, or technology. It moves through people and through who replaces them. For most of human history, societies worried about feeding too many mouths. Today, much of the developed world faces the opposite condition: not extinction, not apocalypse, but replacement failure. This is not ideology. It is arithmetic, and arithmetic reshapes everything it touches. Demographic change compounds slowly but relentlessly. World Bank and OECD data show that nearly every advanced economy has remained below replacement fertility for more than 2 decades. Once that threshold is crossed and sustained, population decline becomes mathematical rather than cultural. Each cohort entering adulthood is smaller than the one exiting the workforce. Over time, the population pyramid inverts. Fewer young workers, more retirees, longer lives layered onto shrinking labor pools. By mid-century, the United Nations estimates that 1 in 4 people in many developed countries will be over the age of 65. Welfare states were never designed for this configuration. At the beginning of the 2000s, much of Europe had roughly 4 working-age adults supporting each retiree. By 2050, that ratio approaches 2 to 1. This is the dependency ratio crisis. Not too many people, but too few contributors. Governments are not unaware of this. Demographic data provides decades of warning. Yet reform is consistently delayed because demographic time moves slower than political time. Election cycles reward short-term stability, not long-term adjustment. As populations age, political power shifts accordingly. Across democracies, older citizens vote more reliably than younger ones, a pattern consistently observed by Pew Research. As electorates grey, policy priorities follow predictable incentives. Pension systems are protected. Healthcare spending expands. Long-term investment in youth, housing and family formation is postponed. This is not corruption or conspiracy. It is incentive structure. Political systems respond to those who participate most consistently. Over time, this produces an intergenerational imbalance where obligations move forward faster than opportunities. Younger generations inherit higher taxes, higher housing costs, and rising public debt. The result is not revolt, but resignation, a quiet adjustment to diminished expectations. Capitalism itself was built on demographic expansion. Growing populations supplied labor, consumption, and demand. Demographic stagnation breaks that assumption. Peer-reviewed research published in the American Economic Journal shows that a 10% increase in the population aged 60 and above correlates with roughly 5 to 6% lower per capita GDP over time. Aging slows employment growth and dampens productivity gains. Risk tolerance declines as societies grow older. When growth slows, economic systems change behavior. They shift from creation to allocation, from expansion to management. Debt expands to compensate for missing population growth. IMF and World Bank data show public debt rising in parallel with demographic aging across advanced economies. This is not simply fiscal mismanagement. It is demographic substitution. Borrowing replaces births. Governments borrow forward against future taxpayers who are fewer in number. Healthcare exposes this arithmetic clearly. OECD data shows that more than half of lifetime healthcare costs occur in the final years of life. As populations age, costs concentrate while contributors shrink. Pension systems and healthcare systems are not separate challenges. They are two sides of the same demographic equation. History offers repeated examples of this pattern. In the late Roman Empire, long before borders collapsed, Roman elites worried about declining citizen households. Fertility among Roman citizens fell, particularly among the upper classes. Augustus introduced laws encouraging childbirth and penalizing childlessness, not as moral intervention, but as demographic necessity. Rome compensated by expanding bureaucracy, recruiting non-Roman soldiers, and absorbing migrants. The empire did not fall overnight. It hollowed gradually. Replacement failed before territory did. Demographic decline does not overthrow states. It erodes them quietly. Another example appears in 19th century France. Fertility there declined earlier than in much of Europe, driven not by modern contraception, but by inheritance laws and economic caution. Families limited births to preserve property. By the early 20th century, France entered World War I with a smaller youth cohort than Germany. The imbalance mattered. Military capacity reflected demographic reality long before ideology did. Falling fertility today is often framed as individual preference, but the data complicates that narrative. Across OECD and Eurobarometer surveys, women consistently report wanting more children than they ultimately have. The gap is structural rather than ideological. Family formation has been delayed by rising housing costs, unstable employment, prolonged education, and economic uncertainty. In most developed countries, the average age of first childbirth has risen by 5 to 8 years since 1980. Marriage rates have fallen sharply. At the same time, partner selection has shifted from community-based environments to digital platforms. Dating markets are now algorithmic. Research shows that algorithmic matching concentrates attention unevenly, delaying stable pair bonding and family formation for large segments of the population. This affects men and women differently. Many men experience demographic decline as status erosion, fewer stable pathways into work, partnership, and family roles. Many women face a narrowing window between economic security and biological timing. This is not moral failure. It is structural friction. Societies expanded individual choice faster than they redesigned reproduction. Demography reshapes culture before it reshapes institutions. Historically, religion, ritual, and kinship anchored generational continuity. As participation in organized religion declines, fertility declines alongside it, a correlation consistently observed in Pew Research data across regions. This does not imply belief causes birth rates. It implies structure matters. Rituals once organized life stages, transitions, and obligations. Increasingly, consumption replaces renewal. Christmas illustrates this shift clearly. In many advanced societies, it has become a peak spending season rather than a generational one. Fewer children, more consumption, less succession. As birth rates fall, cultural memory weakens. Fewer descendants carry fewer traditions. Identity shifts from lineage to abstraction. When kinship weakens, ideology often fills the gap as a source of belonging. Modern history offers another instructive case. After German reunification in 1990, fertility in East Germany collapsed by nearly 60% within a few years. No war occurred. No famine followed. Yet an entire generation failed to appear. Schools closed. Towns hollowed out. Decades later, the demographic scar remains visible. Rapid structural change alone was sufficient. Migration is frequently presented as a demographic fix. In reality, it is a redistribution. United Nations data shows migration can delay population decline, but cannot reverse it long-term. Migrants age as well. However, migration reshapes geopolitics. Younger societies export people. Older societies import them. Sub-Saharan Africa remains the only major region above replacement fertility, though fertility there is also declining faster than previously projected. Demography increasingly predicts power. Youth supports armies, innovation, and industrial capacity. Aging societies become more risk-averse internationally, less willing to initiate large conflicts, more inclined to freeze unresolved ones. This helps explain a world with fewer major wars but more lingering tensions. History reminds us that civilizations rarely disappear suddenly. Most collapses were failures of state complexity, not cultural extinction. After the Black Death, Europe lost nearly a third of its population. Yet labor scarcity empowered workers, reshaped institutions, and altered social contracts. Population loss did not end civilization. It transformed it. The future is unlikely to resemble apocalypse. It will resemble adjustment. Smaller populations, older societies, slower growth, different priorities. The question is not whether civilization survives. It is what kind of civilization remains, and whether societies adapt deliberately or drift quietly into imbalance. Demography does not shout, it whispers. And those who listen early shape what comes next. Thank you for watching. If this inspired you, hit subscribe, like, comment and share. Be part of our journey. Beyond identities, beyond borders, beyond divisions, our destiny is one. You are watching Next Horizon Global.